All right, so now we're going to take a look inside of Business Central itself and take what we've talked about so far and see it in action. So here is my Business Central Role Center. And one way that you can see Power BI reports in Business Central is right here on your Role Center, but it doesn't jump out right away without knowing where to look. So if I scroll down on my Role Center to my Insights tab, you'll see this is a predefined report here provided by Microsoft. But then there's also this Power BI section. If you don't see this Power BI section, you need to go to Personalize. So if I go to my gear icon and then go to Personalize, and then go to plus field, it should show up. There you go, it's a little slow on me today. So if I now scroll down to my Insights section, all of these boxes that are slashed out here are currently hidden. So you'll see I have my Power BI box. Also notice as I keep scrolling down, I can add up to 2 additional Power BI sections than the one that I currently have displayed. So right now I'm showing 1. Do have the option to add additional Power BI reports if you want. You can just do personalization, hit show, and then that would show up as well for you in your Role Center. I'm going to keep the one exposed that I have right now, but if you don't see it, it's probably because it's hidden via personalization. So you'll see this get started with Power BI if you're configuring this for the first time. When you click on it, it's just going to go through a few steps that validate that you have a Power BI license. It's going to look at the same account that you are logged in to the Business Central environment with. So I'll step through this. That's set up, sweet. And now it says there are no enabled reports. Choose refresh if you've completed them, but select reports is what I want to call your attention to. So if you remember me saying that Business Central actually reaches towards Power BI service for reports, that's what this select reports step does. It's going to open up all of the workspaces that I have created in my Power BI service and then allow me to choose reports from a particular workspace to display here in Power BI. So when I do that, I have a handful of workspaces created, so I've collapsed them so it's not too noisy. But if I open up my Stone Ridge Connect report, I am going to pull a similar report that we can compare against this customers by sale value. So customer sales report. This is a report that would have been created in Power BI Desktop and then published to the service. And my Power BI report shows up right here. So quick note, just or a caveat, I should say, the ability to view this Power BI report in this little box on the Role Center here, depending on how your report is built, how many different visuals you have on your report, leaves a little bit to be desired. The good news is there's ways to expand this report, so it's more applicable to expand this report if you're going to be interacting with it, just because a more complex report is just kind of hard to read just right off of the bat here. But I just want to compare and contrast this a little bit to this out-of-the-box cool report that's provided by Microsoft here that's showing top 5 customers by sales value. It allows me to drill into these customers. So if I hover over a particular customer, I get the amount of sales that are making up that bucket. I can drill into that actual customer and be taken to their customer card. I don't really get any details about what made up that amount, that 223,000, but it just takes me to the customer card. Notice when I went away from the Role Center, it had to reload my Power BI page. So this Power BI report just gives me a little bit more insight into the details of our top selling customers. So where on here I just see the total sales amount, I can expand that information through a Power BI report. So let's open this up. I'm going to expand. There is this full screen option as well, but I think we can see this well enough here in this view. So this wheel is similar to what we saw there on the Roll Center, where we see buckets per customer and their sales value. But now all of the ways that I would interact with a Power BI report in desktop or on an app or on a dashboard, I can do right here within VC. So that includes like interactions where I can click visuals and it can filter out the rest of my reports. I can use slicers to filter by particular customers. I can filter by date range dynamically. So maybe I want to look at kind of the back half of 2024, no data in the sandbox environment. Back half of 2023 might be more applicable. Just looked at about 6 months worth there. This is now all filtering dynamically by the date range that I have specified here. I could drill in by a particular item number. I have some metrics showing me total profit during this time period. So profit, we're just looking at revenue minus cost of goods. I have a gauge here that's comparing my profit percentage, against a benchmark. You can see that I'm well above goal for my profit percentage. I can also drill into specific invoices. So say I want to know, hey, for a Datum corporation, tell me more about this particular invoice. I can click on the invoice here. I can come over to my order detail, drill into my order and see the actual items that are making up that invoice and summing up to those costs. So some cool interaction with the report itself that give you way more insight compared to the stock report that is offered by the system here. So that's one example, customer sales history. Also, let's compare it to another report that's offered by Microsoft, which is aged AR. And now I'm going to go to Power BI. I'm going to select a new report from my workspace. So I'm going to look at my aged accounts receivable. And this just gives me in gray bars, buckets per month or per week, and I could drill into that and find the ledger entries, or I can look at a Power BI report. So if I expand this once again, I get a little bit more detail about my aged accounts receivable status. So number of current aged orders versus your total invoices. So that would just tell me 13 minus 8 is 5. That matches what I see here. I have 5 current invoices. If I drill on this, I can filter, and I'm noticing here just on my report, I made a mistake. This should be the 1 to 30 bucket, and this should be the current bucket. Apologies for that. If I just kidding, that's my invoice count by age. Sorry, my 1 to 30 day. I just have it reordered backwards. So as I interact with these and look at my different aging buckets, so this is my 1 to 30 days old, this is my over 30 days. I see the individual invoices that are making up that bucket. I get the total amount, get the average age, the average amount. Once again, I could drill by customer if I wanted to look at just that Alpine ski house. Oh, I'm current with Alpine because they have a $4,000 due, and based off of my work date, it's not due yet. So a cool way to interact with your aged accounts receivable report beyond just what's offered out of the box by the Microsoft report. So just another idea here of how you could expand that report with a Power BI report. So that's viewing reports on the Roll Center. The other way that you can view Power BI reports is on list pages. Can only have this capability on items, customers, and vendors currently, and it's available in the fact box. So when I look at the fact box, you're like, I don't see anything. Where are my Power BI reports? Once again, if I go to personalize, and I go to scroll to the top of my fact box, I can see Power BI hidden. So I'm going to show this and then hit done. Same thing as Role Center, I have to choose a report. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my items by location report. And now I get a dynamic report that is filtered by the item that I am selected on. So as I go down here, it's going to dynamically change based off of the report that I am, or based off of the item that I'm selected on. So when I get a item that's available in multiple locations, because that's one of, I think, the limitations of this page is you get quantity on hand, but it's tough to know how many per location. I can create a quick quantity on hand by location that's dynamic dependent on which item I'm selected on. So that's a great example of how you could use this to enhance kind of the experience on the item page in itself in a way that is not offered, out of the box. One thing to call out here is that the way that I did this is by creating a web service. So web services I'll touch on quickly involves knowing what page you're on. To do that, you can do !, help and support, inspect pages and data, and you get this little pop-up that pops out here and tells you that you're looking at page 31. That's the item list. So with that information, I can search for web services. Here's a list of all the web services that are created in this environment currently. You'll notice that there's some Power BI stock ones. These are these standard APIs that I talked about in the PowerPoint. But if I search this by just pages, because remember web services, you connect to pages. I'll look for just pages. And now I can see all of the different pages that I currently have web service created for, all the ones with BS, that's my initials. So these are the ones that I've manually created. So if I was on a page and it wasn't here by default, I could simply go +new, enter in that page number here, and then publish it. And now I've created a new web service to pull data from Power BI desktop. So that's how you create a web service. It just takes knowledge of what page you're viewing, and then you create that web service, point it towards that page, publish it, and then that will then show up in your web services section when you're getting data from Power BI. So quick little detour there. I have one more report that I want to show you on the vendor list. So if I go to vendors and I go, let's personalize. Oh, it's already here because I personalized on my items. So if I select my reports and this time choose my vendor invoice details, what this report does is it's gonna, I've created it to look at open versus closed invoices by vendor. So as I toggle in between these two options over here, and you can interact with these buttons just like you would in desktop. Notice when I choose a new button, it does get rid of my vendor filter. So I have to click on another vendor line for it to drill down specifically into that vendor. But I get a list of closed invoices versus open invoices. Once again, re-choose my vendor to trigger that vendor filter, and I can see I have one invoice that matches my balance due of $2,000. I can even add tooltips here, so I can filter over this and see the details of this invoice. So this is showing that that $2,000 is made up of 13 units of item number 1936. And then as you scroll down, you get the same sort of dynamic filtering where it's looking at the vendor card and saying, okay, per vendor, what are my open invoices? These amounts should match your balances due over here. And then you could add these tooltips so you can hover over these invoices that'll change per invoice, showing you the makeup of those invoices. So other ways, there's ways to get that information out of Business Central, but it usually requires multiple clicks versus having it available for you right here in Power BI. So In summary, when should you use Power BI reports to fill fill gaps? It's really when you're trying to access information that exists in different tables in Business Central. So let's just say sales invoice header versus sales invoice lines, or vendors and vendor ledger entries. You need information from both of those tables. If that's kind of your use case, Power BI can be a great solution to create a data set that relates those tables and allows you to put together a single visual that presents information from multiple tables, and then publish it directly on your in your BC workspace, both in fact boxes on your list pages for items, vendors, and customers, and then directly in your role center here for maybe some more robust report ideas. So with that, we will open it up to some live Q&A. Thank you for attending this session.